Hello, and this time I'm looking at Venn diagrams and how to shade various sets onto various Venn diagrams. I've got three types of Venn diagram, and I've got some different examples of things to shade in, and I'm going to use my patented dot and cross method. And essentially what I'm going to do is when it gives us the set to draw, I'm going to just label everything that is the first thing with a dot and everything that's the second thing with a cross, and then I'm going to look through what we want, whether that's whether we want the intersection. That's going to be both the sections, it wants the sections with both a dot and a cross in it. If it's a union, then I don't mind. I can have a dot in it, a cross in it, or both of them, and all of those will be my union. And of course, if I've got to label something and then do something not, then I'll be doing everything other than what I want. But I'll go through those examples and how to deal with brackets when we get there. So I've got 8 examples. Let's crack on. So for these two, diagram 1 and 2, I'm going to do the same one 3 times. So here, A intersecting B not. So I'm going to put a dot for everything that's A and a cross for everything that's B not. So everything that's A, that is A, and that is A. Both of those areas are in the A circle. B not is outside of the B circle there, and also this bit of A is outside the B circle. They're both the areas that are not B. And if I want the intersection, it means I need A and not B, which means I need a dot and a cross, and the only place with a dot and a cross is this section, so I shade this in. Now you can either sort of properly shade it in, or it's perfectly legitimate in an exam just to sort of shade it in like that. Obviously with straight lines, I just can't do straight lines on the screen. Now if this was an exam, then you'd want to make your dot and cross quite small so that it wasn't confusing the examiner, or just erase those after you've shaded in where you want. Let's do the same thing for diagram 2. So A is going to get a dot, so this is A, and the whole of B is inside A. It's a subset, so this is also A. Just like this bit of B was inside A, it's just that there isn't any B that isn't in A. So this is also in A, so it gets a dot. Not B is this bit, and this bit is not B. And so the intersection of A and not B is going to be this bit here, the white part of the fried egg, if you will. Okay, but just labeling what isn't B with a cross and what is A with a dot, you can then just see that it's where you have a dot and a cross. Okay, moving to the second example. This is A not in union with B not. Now a lot of people get freaked out by this when I do this one. They say, oh, but you can't have that because that's got A not, that's got A in it, and you're not allowed to be A, and things like this. And it's much easier if you just stick to the dot cross method and trust it to get the answer, and then you can look at why it isn't once we've got to it. So let's do it. So let's put a dot for the A not and a cross for the B not. A not is outside of A, which are these two areas, and B not is outside of B, which is here. And because it's the union, I'm going to use anywhere which has a dot or a cross. That's what the union means. It means the things that are the first set, things that are the second set, and things that are both sets. So actually, I'm going to colour in or shade in pretty much everything other than this middle section here. That doesn't get shaded, but everything else gets shaded because it had a dot or a cross. Now, I say some people get confused and they say, whoa, you've coloured in a bit of A there, and we're supposed to be not A. And that's okay, because we're colouring this bit in. Okay, this bit is getting coloured in under the pretenses of being not B. And this bit is getting coloured in, even though it is B, and we've said not B, but it's coming in under the pretenses of being not A. And of course the outside is neither A nor B, so no one argues about that. So it's okay, because it's union, we can satisfy it with the other one. Right, now what if we have a not after a bracket? Well, just like in BIDMAS, we do the bracket first. We're still going to do dot and cross. So A is a dot, B is a cross, and you think, oh, well, I'm going to colour in, because it's the union, everything with the dot and a cross. Yes, can color all this. And then this apostrophe afterwards is like, no, I want everything other than this. This is the complement of the set. So it means everything that's not what I've just said. Yeah. So I'm about to color in all of this, not color in everything else instead. So anything that doesn't have it. And if this was A intersects B and then not, you'd be about to just colour in that middle bit, and then you'd colour in everything else, so you'd colour in that, which you could describe in this way. So there are multiple ways of describing sets, whether you do it separately like that, or if you did it in a bracket, doesn't matter. So anyway, let's put the right answer in. This is A in union, so I would colour in the whole thing, and then not, so I colour in just the outside. And again, you might, if you've done quite big symbols, you might just erase those so the examiner doesn't get confused. Oh, I apologize, I skipped on my diagram too. Let's come back to this one. A not in union with B not. So A not is this one. B not, though, is this one and this one. And if we want the union of these, then we're just going to colour in anything that has a dot or a cross. So it's all of this, the outside and the white of the egg. Same thing here, but this time it's A in union with B. So A is this, B is just this. The union is the whole of the egg, because it's anything with a dot or a cross, which is all of the egg. And so not that is going to be around the outside. Okay, and then I've got two examples of a three-part question. A intersect B intersect C. Well, you can do the same method if you want to, although it's quite an easy example. Dot, cross, and square, maybe. So A, dot, dot, dot. Whoops, missed. B, cross, 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 cross. And C, square, square. Oh, it's too small. Square, square. And although it's got too small and complicated to see the symbols, but with the intersection of everything, I need to have all three symbols. And the only bit with all three is the very middle triple point, but we probably could have got that without using the dot and cross method. If it had said union, then it would be anything. If it was A in union with B in union with C, then it would be the whole of this. It would be anywhere with any of those symbols in, but it wasn't, so we'll leave it as it is. This one, we've got to do the bracket first. So first of all, I'm going to do the dot and cross for this. I'm going to do it really, really small so I don't get confused about things. Okay, so I'm going to say B intersects C. Now, actually, do I need to do the dot and cross here? Not really. B intersects C is the overlap between B and C, which I know is this bit here. Okay, I could do the dot and cross, dot, 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 cross, 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 and being the intersect, I want these two. Okay. And then I want this in union with A not. So I'm going to need my other symbol. So square. Square there. That's not A. That's not A. And that's not A. And because I want union, now you've got to be careful here, because if it's for a union, I'm just going to shade in anything with a square and anything with both a dot and a cross. So if it doesn't have both, it doesn't get shaded in. All right, but if it has just got a square, so I can shade in the square. Good thing about the union is you can do it separately. You can just say, right, colour in that one, and then colour in this one. So what has, anything with a square, sorry. So I can also colour in all of this. So all of that gets coloured in because it's all got a square. Anything with a square, colour it in. Anything with a dot and a cross, which is just this little bit here, that we haven't already got. We had other dot and cross section, which was this bit here, but we've shaded that in already. So this also has a dot and a cross, so I shade in that just little middle triple point as well. So the only thing that doesn't get filled in is this almost Pac-Man-like bit here. It is much more straightforward if you use this dot and cross method, but you have to be sequential. You have to obviously fill it in, put your dots and crosses, and then think carefully, right, it has to be this. It has to be this. Let's colour each one in. Or if it had been the union, I'd have had to look for something which had the square and the dot and the cross, and we did have that. If I just change colour, I think this was that. A not intersects B intersects C, would be this little bit. So you can, you can just look at each bit, colour in the things that you want, and you just got to read the intersect and the union carefully and make sure you do brackets first. Hopefully that's given you a few clues as to how to do these kind of questions. If you have any issues with that and you want to leave a comment, please do. Otherwise, cheerio.